Let's look at another visual in the cartoon analysis here. And as we can see here, let's start off using our layer by layer analysis and slowly bring it down. So immediately in a cartoon, you want to think about the forefront of the image as shown here. And you also want to think about the background of the image here. So before we actually analyze and look at the questions of the cartoon, let's analyze what is actually going on. So the first step is you look at what's happening and the captions which are involved here. And that's when we'll begin to look at the bigger symbols in relation to the GAMSAT and how you can actually correspond to it. Okay, so let's begin. So immediately, let's look at the visual representation. So in the background here, we can see the parents looking at a child with a girl and a boy who are assumingly friends here. And the boy says that I'd love to stay and play, but I got to head to work so we can afford to send me a childcare. So this here is basically satire because it's suggesting that children at a young age shouldn't be working. They should be enjoying their childhood as well. And that's something that's reinforced within this image as well. So we can see a picture of a bear and childhood, and it's something childlike. So you can see this contrast between the two different views here, and it's basically a juxtaposition here. So you can see the unimpressed look on the or the confusion on the girl's face in the sense that, well, why can't you play with children? Children are meant to be acts of innocence, right? And we also have this contrast where if you look at it, he's slightly away from a far distance. So it suggests that by working, his childhood is slowly slipping away. And that's something that he feels that he needs to do in order to afford his childcare. But if you look at the distance here, there's a distance between the actual individual who is expressing their concern. So the parents are clearly concerned, as if you zoom in, so I can't zoom in on this, but if you look at their zoomed in face, you can see that they're just confused and perplexed as to what's going on as well, and that the parents don't really have a say in this. So if we look at this here, let's see if it actually corresponds to the messages of the cartoon now, based on my analysis. So we see the boy is grateful for the sacrifices his parents are making. There's no sense of gratitude here for the sacrifices his parents are making, nor is there any implication for the sacrifices as well. If there were sacrifices, it'd be showing him shaking his hand to his parents or just hugging them and expressing affection, which is not in the case of this. So therefore, the answer cannot be A. Now let's look at B, C, and D carefully. Now note that when you analyze cartoons, you need to analyze with care and intention, as the wrong word or the wrong implication can lead to you answering a question wrong. So let's look at B, C, and D. So C sees children as an opportunity for the children to socialize. This is actually, the cartoon is actually saying the opposite. It's saying that you need to work and that there is no time to socialize in order for education. And that doesn't actually support the need for the cost of economy necessity as well. So if we look at B and D, right, we can see parents are unhappy with childcare, but recognize it is an economic necessity. There's no intention to state that as well. That you can see that it's an economic necessity because it doesn't really say that the parents are unhappy, and you can't really look at it from that analysis. So therefore, the only answer that could be complementary of this cartoon is actually B, and I'll explain why. So if we see this connotation here between the two contrasts, we can see the boy, which is suggesting, implying that he has to work. So it's basically saying that he feels as though his parents make him obliged so that he can afford his own education. But that's not the parents' motive. The parents are actually confused, and the fact that they're bringing him here suggests is that they want him to do well. They want him to attend childcare. So these views are actually contradictive of each other, which is actually why the answer is B. And that's my analysis of this cartoon, and that's something that you should be doing in order to really dominate the game set and be like, when you actually answer a question, you show up to the exam and you'll be like, boom, 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 boom. The GAMSAT cannot touch me. I'm untouchable. And that's the approach that we should be taking towards the GAMSAT to really achieve that high mark. And something that I'll try to do in every single of my videos, and something that I've been doing in my prep that has personally worked for me. Just consistent practicing, um, 10 simulations in a row, 92% accuracy. And that's something that I learned and I want to share as well.